feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank. When it's sink or swim, only option is to win. In the murky water, not a thought of giving in. Welcome to the shrimp tank. Want to put it all together, this is big thanks. Doing big things, we ain't in the same league. Running a campaign, Roadie 2016. Like a phone to die, putting me in charge. I'm a general, from the front I'ma lead the charge. Like a federal, fell on my lap never. Going hard as ever.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode here on the Shrimp Tank, powered by Celsius Beverage. Catch all these amazing episodes up on our website, shrimptankpodcast.com. We come live every single Wednesday on our social accounts, as well as the FEU College of Business LinkedIn account. And we are getting to learn from so many different entrepreneurs this season that have spectacular journeys. And today I'm excited because we have an FEU alumni sitting here that just graduated a few years back and doing really exciting things. And I know how difficult it is as an entrepreneur to hire quickly and grow the business when good things are happening. And it's extremely difficult. It looks easy always, but most people are putting out fires and working 60 to 80 hour work weeks all the time. Kevin, what is going on at FAU before we get going?
Oh, all sorts of things are always going on at FAU. This is an exciting week. We're kicking off our entrepreneurship boot camp tonight at 5:30 p.m. This is going to be the largest boot camp program we've ever run, with almost 200 people registered for the program. Then tomorrow night, if you want to learn the myths and facts of entrepreneurship in the age of AI, you can join us here. We're hosting an event in conjunction with the AI Collective of South Florida, where yours truly is going to be speaking about how to navigate entrepreneurship in the age of AI. Myths and facts and other things. So busy week for me, man. We got a lot of stuff going on, but I got to get into our guest today, not just an alumni, a recent alumni. Pierce, welcome to the show. And one of the things we always tell the students, try to teach them how to do, is give a fast, efficient introduction. So you got 60 seconds. Give them your elevator pitch.
Sure. Thank you for having me. I love being back in the College of Business. This is where it all kind of started for me. My name is Pierce Kennamer. I'm the president and founder of IggyTrap of Florida. We are an environmental solutions company focused on the cutting edge remediation of multiple invasive species. So when you think about things like iguanas, pythons, cane toads, some of these species that are not only causing immense environmental damage, but economical damage as well. It's the new pest control, kind of a new age pest control here in South Florida. We've been really tackling it from a technology standpoint, building, patenting our own equipment to really give us a distinct advantage over all the companies that have been doing it for a number of years, and to really make sure that we're being able to tackle these problems head on.
It's a fantastic story, and it's been featured a lot of different places. We're glad to feature you here as well. I got a ton of questions. I know the students have a bunch of questions, but first, why don't we play one of these silly games? And Dominic's joining us today to get in on the show. You want to introduce yourself real quick?
I'm Dominic. I'm a student here at FAU, majoring in business administration. That's about it.
Nice. Wow. He's ready to go.
Could he be the first winner of the week from the students that participate? That'll be the question, right? We haven't had a student winner yet all season.
When he sat down, he said, "My name's Dominic, and I'm here to dominate."
He did. He did. I got my money beating you, Kevin. So let's bring down our host. Come on down. Explain this game show to us, and let's get things moving.
All righty. My name's Mateus, and we're going to be playing Closest to the Date.
Closest to the date.
So I'm not good with dates.
Kevin's not that good with date. Look at his top hat. I don't know if that's good with the ladies. I don't know.
All right. So we'll ask you multiple questions, all business related, and first closest to the answers,
The
getting
winner.
the point.
Got it. Yes.
No ifs, ands, or buts. And first question today we got: in what year was the first American billionaire created?
1977.
Okay. Next one.
1911.
Okay. Kevin.
I'm gonna say it was kind of in the robber baron, like railroad eras. I'm gonna go older. I'm gonna go like 1870.
And Dominic.
1940.
All right.
We're all over the map.
And first winner is going to be our
Oh.
guest here.
Pierce.
Okay.
Pierce. 1916, John D. Rockefeller.
Oh,
Industrial
all right.
Revolution.
oh,
Oh, yeah.
okay.
All right, next question. In what year was the first American female billionaire created?
Oh, it'd be 2012.
Okay.
1991.
All right.
2005.
All right. Dominic?
2001.
All right. We got a little bit of a tie here
Oh,
between Kevin and Dominic.
oh,
Do you
okay.
want to rock, paper, scissors, shoot? What do you want to do?
I like this. Well, they
what'd
get half.
you-
They get
what'd you
half a
guess?
point each. They get half.
2001.
So it's who was it? I'll give you that. There we go. That would be our tiebreaker.
You got me.
Come on, you got this.
Was it Oprah?
Oprah Winfrey.
Oh,
Oh,
Kevin,
nice.
with
Yeah.
the steal.
Kevin,
All
Look
right.
out.
Steal. I like that.
All right. And all right. In what year was the first ever Walmart created in Rogers, Arkansas?
1972.
All right. On to the next.
Go a little earlier. I'll say 67.
Oh,
Okay.
you're competing. It's like
I'll
the
say
Price is Right, like $1.
76. I think he's in the right wheelhouse.
76. Dominic.
Let's go 70.
70. What was your answer again?
72.
72.
67.
You're our winner.
Wow.
Oh,
I feel like this is the Price is Right. Like
Like
someone's doing like one over.
1962
They
is the
hugged
answer for
me.
that one.
All right.
All right. Next question. When was the first major United States bank crash?
Ooh.
Oh,
1927.
The 1890.
Okay.
Okay, well here, can I rephrase? Are we
Yeah.
are we talking panic? It was like a bank run classified as a bank crash.
Good follow up.
I'll give you a little hint here. It says here when the bank suddenly stopped giving out loans and asked for money back.
Ooh.
Okay, so I'm calling notes. Okay. I'll stick with my answer.
All right, 1870 was it?
I said 1890. I like
1890.
that.
Okay.
I'm going to say 1880.
All right.
1900.
All right. Closest, I believe, was you. It was 1819.
Ooh. We were
So-
all
Cool.
way
Kevin,
off.
that's
Yeah.
Kevin. Kevin went earlier.
It says here banks were giving out too many loans, especially for people buying land. And they asked for it all back. So 1819 was that.
And it never happened again with people buying property. Or did it?
All right.
All right. the
so
great
we're
state of
tied.
Florida.
We both got two.
Oh,
Uh-huh. In what year was the first publicly traded company, the Dutch East India Company, established?
Oh,
I'm going to give you a hint. Go way back.
yeah. 1680.
Okay. 1680.
1750.
All right.
yeah. I'm thinking even earlier than that. I'm thinking like late 1400s.
Okay. Dominic,
1560.
1560. And Kevin, what was your answer?
1650. I think.
I think you were the closest. 1602.
Ooh,
All right.
There we go.
Takes the lead.
He does.
Exciting.
I'm far behind him. That's 0.
All right. Next question. 2 more to go. When was the New York Stock Exchange officially founded?
1875.
All right.
I feel like we should know the answer. to
We
this.
should. I'm
I feel like
a
this is-
financial advisor.
Yeah,
know
I think this should be like I've got a finance degree and I feel like I should know this, but I don't. I'm gonna say early 1900s, like 1905.
Okay. Kevin.
Yeah, I guess it's in that wheelhouse. I'd say 1910.
All right. Dominic.
Go 1900.
Think you got it.
Thankfully, with my profession, I got that one.
Board.
What was it?
Answer was 1792.
Oh,
we
we
were
were way
way
off.
off. We were off by 100 years.
Okay.
Yeah. Only traded 5 securities, mainly government bonds.
Okay.
There we are.
More than you know.
All right. Last question. In which year was the first iPod released?
Oh, I think I know this.
2002.
All right.
And I'm saying 2001.
All right.
I'm going to say 2000.
That's a good answer. These are great answers because
Yeah.
I remember like I was in college those years.
04.
04. I think we got a little tiebreaker. You guys might be tied here. You got it right.
Which
Guess
one?
got it right.
Well, he got it right. He won.
2001.
All right.
Yeah.
So you won.
Yeah.
You won.
All right, there you
Right,
go.
no
What's
one
our
else
score
did.
looking like?
I think that puts
3-3.
Kevin high.
3-3. You need a tiebreaker.
Okay, I didn't prepare for this.
He didn't prepare for a tiebreaker.
All right. I'm looking up a random
Make
question.
them do push-ups. Who could do the most push-ups? I like that one.
All right.
Kevin's been working out a lot lately.
All right. Here we are. Starring Michael Keaton. Oh, no, we'll do dates. My bad.
We got a Batman question coming.
Business date. All right. Nope. Nope. Sorry.
Tess, do you know a good date? You want to chime in on the show?
I think you should do the push-up idea. That was a good one.
We'll just do a random question.
Well, I'll look it up. Okay. When was Celsius Beverage founded?
There we go.
All right. I'm going to go with 96.
Okay.
Later.
You can't cheat. You
Yeah,
can't cheat and
I'm like
look.
reading the can.
Can't cheat. I got the answer right here.
I'm thinking later than that. I'm thinking probably 2011.
Okay. The winner is 2004.
There
Pierce.
we go.
He won
Is that right?
by Steve and Janice Haley, who live in Delray Beach, Florida.
Yeah,
At
by
the time.
1 year. Way to go. Congratulations.
Yes.
Great
All right,
game.
guys.
Dominic, you got on the board.
He got on the board. I unfortunately did not.
Yeah, you did. You
Well, I
got
got
the
one. I
stock
got one.
exchange within 300 years or whatever it was.
Yeah,
Way to
I
go.
got close.
Nailed it.
Nailed that one.
All
Okay.
right, so Pierce, tell us a little bit about how you got into this, your time at FAU. When did you graduate anyways? Give us a little background on the on everything.
Sure. So 2023 graduated.
Wow.
Pretty recent. Served as student body president during that time. Sat on the board of trustees, which was a fantastic experience. Got me all the necessary sort of experience, I think, of dealing with high level professionals that are wise beyond their years and definitely beyond mine, and being able to kind of pick their brains and everything. So when I was coming out of that role and speaking with a lot of people, I started IggyTrap and doing a lot of the R&D myself. Kind of bootstrapping it when I was in undergrad. So when I was coming out of school, I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to go do. I'm going to go take the shot and, go see what we can make of this. So telling a lot of people what I was doing coming out of school, they're like, what? You're going to go catch iguanas? Like, what do you do?
Yeah, you're going to college. You get a lot of feedback from family and friends. Like, what are you doing? Like, go become a financial advisor. Go become a doctor.
Yeah,
dentist,
go big
whatever.
four. Go, go kind of do that conventional, finance degree sort of route. But I kind of viewed it differently. I thought that a lot of the classes that were offered in the College of Business and a lot of the variety that you do get, it prepares you beyond just being in that sort of field of your concentration. So when I was taking marketing classes, taking business classes, taking case studies and things like that, operations management, supply chain, all those things kind of factor in. And I was like, you know what, in my early 20s, and there's going to be the time to take a risk is why not now, and really kind of go for
you must have learned that from Kevin's class, because that's all he ever says. Right?
Yeah,
Take the risk when you're young. I
am
always hear him say that.
consistently telling that to students that, in some ways, depending on your current circumstances, there's no better time, because you don't have the kids, the mortgage, the responsibilities. You may, not everybody, certainly, you may even have a scenario where things go totally poorly. You can move back in. It's not ideal. I know about that, but you can move back in with the parents, resettle, and then go to the job market. Like, there's no better time than to, hey, why don't I give this a shot? Try to do something unique, try to create some value. And that's exactly what you did. So we don't have any classes, though, if you're looking for, reptile studies or anything like that. So tell us about the trap. How did you invent this thing? What was unique about it? How did you get into that side of the business?
What was the start of this? That's what I want to understand, too. Were you a little kid and you kept seeing iguanas?
Well, honestly, that's not too far off. So my grandparents lived on North Ocean down in Fort Lauderdale. So growing up, I would come see my grandparents here and you'd see the green iguanas, and it'd be kind of cool, and you take a photograph, and it was kind of exotic. But in the past couple years, it's grown from kind of novelty exotic into this major issue. And when I was in school, I mean, you go walk around campus, you go up to the lakes and things. I mean, they're everywhere.
Oh yeah.
And when I was in undergrad, I was like, so like what's kind of the how do you deal with this? What's being done? How do you counter some of these things? And the options available in the marketplace was your typical animal nuisance trap, which I'm pretty sure everyone's seen, where you have a pressure plate in a door and it slams shut, and they've been catching them with cats, and they've been doing it since the beginning of time, catching things that way. Wasn't, you can't get a targeted species in it, and you can catch one at a time. And I'm like, that's not going to be conducive. If you went to go tackle FAU's iguana problem right now, and you try to remove them one at a time, we'd be sitting here until we're 100 years old. I mean, it just wouldn't work.
Well, a new one's going to arrive every time you take the old one out. Like,
exactly.
It'll be a good job for somebody, but they never finish it.
Exactly. So when we were thinking, okay, how do we get to a scalable solution to where we can go to large commercial properties, get them under control quickly? So that's when we thought of the idea of, okay, we got to be able to catch as many as possible, and in one sort of station at a time.
And it's a major problem when you're visiting from states like New York, where I came from, and I was going to Florida because I did the same thing as you. I would travel down here, visit grandma and grandpa and my parents, who were snowbirds at the time. And then I would stay at hotels a portion of my trip. And then certain hotels, I'm like, I was scared to death. Like up north, you're not used to iguanas like you are down here. Now you're like, anyone who lives here is very used to it. But traveling down here to 4 or 5 star hotels and all of a sudden seeing them everywhere, it freaks people out, of course.
Oh yeah. And for a lot of those resorts, right, you think of the brand you have for your customer, right? Your customer is expecting that they're not going to be able to go to the pool at some of these, when they're paying $1,000 a night, and the iguanas are leaving defecations by the pool, right?
In the pool, or in the freaking
pool.
People out.
Yeah.
I have a pool. I've seen them. I wake up and they're in there swimming.
Yeah. So kind of circling back to the how we got on the trap is we started building out a lot of stuff. Was actually, I was bouncing a lot of stuff off my dad. I was calling him and saying, okay, here's what I got. Here's what we're doing. I just as somebody to talk to. Yeah. That was, and my parents live in Cincinnati, so they're far removed, but having that outside vision of saying, here's what's working, here's what's not. Okay, try this. Yeah. Maybe we can make this work. So I went through about 5 different iterations of design to try to get this right. Literally just after class, going out and going on the canals, just testing, just trying to make it work. And so we were setting up trail cameras, seeing how they were interacting. And once we realized they were going in, hardest part was actually keeping them from coming out. And when we worked it all out, we said, okay, we got something, because we're getting a dozen,
so
20 of them.
It makes me think of like a lobster trap.
Exactly.
Right?
Same methodology. Okay. Same methodology of like a crab trap or a lobster trap out in the ocean. You're trying to bring all the ones that are in that area into the same spot and remove them in mass. So that's kind of where we got the methodology from it. And once we got to our production design now, we put in for our patent, and we actually just got our patent back in March. So that was a huge deal for us on getting that.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you on getting our utility and design patents back. That was huge, and it's allowed us to be a little bit more bold on how we go out and how we do do business in the marketplace. Is having that protection. It's everything.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit more about the business. What is kind of the current mix in terms of commercial accounts or HOAs versus individual homeowners? And then you made the decision to expand into other invasive species. Mm-hmm. What does the business really look like today?
So business for us, we're servicing everything from places down in Key West all the way up to Palm Beach Gardens. So we have a very broad sort of regional map that we're working in. Our customers range. I mean, you'd be so surprised in the diversity of our customers, because we call this the green rat. It is at the point now where it has to be done like rodent control. I mean, it is that bad for a lot of these areas. So we have customers in the agricultural communities down in Kendall and Miami-Dade County that are growing a lot of tropical fruits out in the western portion of the county. They're experiencing a lot of crop loss there. So they're having to fight those green iguanas. And for farmers who work on thin margins and volume,
Yeah.
losing, 5 to 10% of your crops, that's a big deal. Resorts, hotels, golf courses.
And where does most of the revenue actually come from, right? You might have 100 different types coming in, like you just referenced, are coming from everywhere. But is there a specific niche where you're more profitable in business?
Well, a lot of our profitability we have in some of our newest things, which is our preventative products. So we have, I'm sure everyone's seen like the clear tree baffles and the clear tree wraps. But we have our trademark IggyTrap, which keeps the iguanas from actually living up in the trees. So we install that on commercial properties. We sell it on Amazon direct to consumer.
Nice.
So
Nice.
I mean, we have out of our warehouse in Pompano. I mean, we're shipping that like it's shipping like hotcakes for people going out, giving homeowners that sort of education and knowledge they need, and to have a sort of DIY thing for people that can protect some of their.
Can you take a step back? I see the sheet in front of me. I'm gonna hold it up for the audience right now. Of like what kind of problems occur from the iguanas, right? Like, because I think sometimes you have a pool and then something happens, and then later, right, there's this reaction that you realize, oh no, I should have done this preventative measure, of course, that could have saved me thousands of dollars. And resorts go through the same thing. And I see the costs right here that are listed. And I think sometimes, people, again, react afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And I think educating everybody is quite important.
Absolutely. Well, and to take like from a 10,000 foot view, iguanas are an invasive species in Florida. They were brought here as pets in the 1960s. They were then released, and they're breeding. They're going to be anywhere from 25 to 75 eggs per iguana. 90% of those eggs are going to make it to maturity. So when you can see how an animal that has no natural predators in an environment becomes a pest very, very quickly. When we talk about damages, Florida property insurers slid in iguanas with pest damage, which isn't insurable because they say, oh, you need to be doing remediation against your pests. So same way, if a property is doing nothing for their iguana control and they have a major thing like a seawall collapse, it happened up in West Palm Beach. They had a water control structure failure. It was a $1.9 million emergency fix.
Wow.
And that's taxpayer money that's got to go out to get that fixed. But you think of things for like single family homes, they have to be doing that remediation, or they're going to be, stuck with those out-of-pocket costs because the property insurers were ahead of the game on this. They saw the damages coming. They knew what was going to happen. They said, we're going to wash our hands of this. And no one reads their, your property insurance packets, what?
No,
80,
nobody
80
does.
pages
Yeah.
long.
And not to mention in Florida, like most people have like one option. So it's
Exactly.
like, well, you can have this or you can have no insurance, which your bank won't allow you to do. So like, yeah, there's no real point in reading it because if you don't like it, you're going to sign it anyways.
Yeah, you got to have it.
And 99% of people listening are homeowners. So can you just kind of dive in on the homeowner, what the common issues are?
Big issue we're seeing right now, the iguanas, I'm sure if you ever driven through the neighborhoods, you might see them up on the roof.
Yes.
They're sitting up there basking on the roof. For that, it's a huge structural problem. So they'll actually burrow and crack and get under those barrel tile roofs between there and the roof lining, and they'll live there. It's nice and warm. They're cold-blooded animals, so they like as much heat as they can get.
Hey, they make good TikTok videos, though.
Yeah, they do.
All right, hanging up on those roofs.
But you're talking about roof damage. You get water damage and things like that. Again, non-insurable. You have caught I don't know if anybody, I'm sure homeowners know what a new roof costs down here, especially for the clay tile roofs. And not even to mention the damages and the payout there, where you're paying anywhere from $1,000 to replace a few tiles up to $20,000 if you're fixing weather damages. Biggest thing there is the wait times. I mean, we talk with roofing companies all the time, and they're like, we're stacked up 90, 120 days before we can even get out there and do a patch
that's one of the
fix.
trades. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, they're very, very busy people too, and for them, they want to go where they make their big bucks, which is going and putting a whole new roof on, rather than going and doing little patchwork here and there.
Yeah.
And screens, gutter damage. We have a new product that we just launched that we're patent pending on. It's a clear, hard piece. It basically extends off of the pool cages and lanai screens, and it prohibits them from being able to climb and scale up those screens. For a lot of people, don't know how expensive that is to just get replaced.
So let's back it up to the actual business structure. You launched this business, it's working, You now have a patent, right? But hiring people is quite difficult. Can you just share how many people are currently working for the brand? Do you have some people, outside of the state of Florida doing things remotely, for example, or is it all in-house in this state? And then how are you going to expand this model, right? Obviously, there's a whole marketing element to this, right? With social media, and people, of course, go right to the internet. When a problem occurs, they search. And if you're up there on Google, with good reviews, that's the person I'm calling, right? Yep. And this seems like a statewide issue, but then other states, of course, as well. So give us kind of the whole model.
Sure. Well, this is a worldwide issue, and I know we focused a lot on the iguana piece here early in the show, but these are a worldwide issue. I mean, Taiwan is having issues to where they're putting bounties on them, and they're sending people out there. They're sending out there with slingshots to try to take them out in Taiwan. I mean,
what do you do with the iguanas? I think I missed that part. Like, once you capture them all, what happens?
So we do as much repurposing as we can. We've had crab trappers down in the Keys use them for crab traps and things like that, but there is a disposal element to them. That's honestly the dirtiest and nastiest and worst part of the job, is having to deal with that. It's a state law that they have to be humanely euthanized. We take really great care of how we approach that with humanity and dignity to animals. So that's, one piece of the business that is a challenge. But going back to your initial question of hiring and finding people, for entrepreneurs, I would say your alma mater, great resource. We come back, we hire out of the business school. We have kids who we've had in transient positions to where they're working part-time during school, and then they want to go off and do something else. And that, those are great jobs of getting people experience in what working in a startup environment is. We have kids that we brought in upon graduation, giving them full-time salary offers, which they've jumped into and been able to take a really good big responsibility in an upgrowing company, which a lot of people enjoy. As well as going and just recruiting out of classrooms and word of mouth, even
finding. When you say recruit, there's in-office jobs, but also there's out of the office jobs, right? So can you explain the out of the office, because that's where a lot of people struggle, right? Where you have to put these traps down, and somebody has to go out there and collect the traps, and it's not for everyone, of course.
Working
and there's a lot of turnover. We see, me and Kevin, with those type of jobs, of course.
Yeah, and doing work out in the field, whether it's in actual labor positions or it's in sales, working out of the office in the field. I mean, Florida's not an easy environment to work in. I mean, it's the summertime. It's 95 degrees out there. It's tough. And those guys, they work really, really, really hard. And I'm sure if they listen to this, they know how much I appreciate them and value them and how hard they work. But a lot of those positions we do hire out of FAU, out of high schools, and you'd say, hey, if you don't want that typical desk position, guys who like to go out and they like to fish, they like to be outside, they like to be on the water, they like to be, doing those things outside. Well, we always say, hey, it's cushier than landscaping, way cushier. You're not doing that, and you're getting a lot of interpersonal experiences in dealing with customers. I mean, you're dealing with people firsthand, whether it's homeowners or commercial clients. And I mean, even we've had guys, meet, other large commercial accounts, and they get to see an insight on how they work. I mean, they get to go 10, 20 different places in a day, and you get to see all sorts of different work environments. What does hospitality look like when you're working with the hotel maintenance crew, or their engineering department? What does it look like when you're running, a greenhouse facility, all sorts of different things. But I think the variety helps us fight turnover. I think that this is not a monotonous sort of job to where it's the same thing day in, day out. We're seeing a lot of different challenges. And we always say, there's no one job that's the same when you're dealing with quoting clients or going out. I mean, we've seen all sorts of crazy stuff. We've got, we've removed them out of attics, air compressors. A customer had an air compressor at a very, very large manufacturing facility. The iguana ran inside of the warehouse, got caught in the air compressor, and no one noticed, and the air compressor choked up and burned out, and it was a $40,000 fix.
Frogs in my air conditioner. I got a pool heater. I've seen frogs, all these pests get everywhere, of course.
And
cause major damage.
That variety is one piece, and the other piece, I think, is letting your employees know they're extremely appreciated. They work hard. When you're small, you do have a little bit of leeway of saying, okay, we're going to make this a fun work environment for these guys.
So what would be the hardest thing in the last couple of years running the business? Because so often we hear so many different stories through the Shrimp Tank, what would be yours? Obviously, this is your first major brand, and having to be a leader and be positive all the time when sometimes you're having the worst day ever, but you can't let your employees know that, right? So kind of share from your experience, what has been the hardest thing running this business?
I'm gonna take a second on that because I got a few. I'd say it's there's a mix, right? I mean, getting to scale and scaling business is hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard. It's hard from a capital perspective. I mean, I'll tell a story that I thought about before I came in here today, is being a young entrepreneur and going in, and I went to, I won't say which bank or where, but I went in and just tried to get a business credit card. That's what I was in there for. This is my before I even had really any big clients or anything, and I was just trying to get off the ground.
This should be easy and free. So what happened?
No, business credit cards are a pain in the butt. I know what he's talking about. I had an issue too my first time.
I was shocked because I went in and I thought, okay, this should be pretty cut and dry. It's very, very simple, just access to a credit line. And I mean, they were raking me over the coals.
You got to almost give your fingerprints for it. I understand what you're saying. Running a business and going down, like, they have know your client rules, and it's a lot more difficult than people realize.
Access to capital in that first year when you're trying to bootstrap without going to an angel investor and doing that sort of route. If you're trying to do the conventional route, I mean, a lot of the banks won't lend to you for a conventional business loan for up to 24 months, and so you got to figure out, they say, okay, we want to see at least 1 year returns.
That's a big misconception. That's one of the things that, I'll probably be talking about tomorrow night among the myths, is like, people think, well, bank has money. That's where I go get money. It's like, if you form the LLC today, you're 2 years out and you are barely bankable. Even if you've got some funds, some revenue, some customers, you're barely bankable, and bankable is not the same as loanable.
Exactly. So, I mean, I went there and I was committed. I was like, okay, we'll just get a business credit card and that'll get me enough to just get going. And they denied me, even with a personal cosign and everything, with good credit. And, I mean, I was really shocked, and I had somebody from the bank come in, and they try to leverage by saying, okay, well, maybe we can rework this. Maybe we can get you approved if you call some people that and maybe they can bring some deposits in, and I'm like, I was like, so you're just trying to leverage me and to get out. I mean, it's a dog eat dog world out there. But I mean, so I ended up going to Amex. And I said, okay, well, I'll open business credit through there with no limit, and we'll go that route, and I can get my employee cards for free. I can get them gas cards. They extended me what I needed to get moving. But that, I think that's always a big thing, is obviously access to capital. I don't know, any business starting that's, doesn't have necessarally that problem.
Have you raised capital since, or no?
No, we haven't taken any outside investors. Okay. So we've grown organically over the past, I guess 2-3 years here. But that's obviously one big piece. I'd say another big piece is consumer education. I think, in
your world, I didn't know any of this that I'm seeing here. And of course I'm like, okay, I should take care of a lot of this stuff. I'm a homeowner.
Exactly. Well, even homeowners and commercial properties. I mean, this is a problem that has been just really exacerbated in the past 60 months, past 5 years here, where it's starting to get really bad. So, I mean, most of our customers who call in say, I have these, I got no idea what to do. I don't know what it costs. I don't know what the format is. I don't know what, our customers are coming to us, and they're literally saying, sell me. I got to figure out what I even do here. I mean, it's not like your extermination where you have roaches in your kitchen, you call the pest company, they come out, they spray, that's been going on for hundreds of years.
And I'd like to kind of piggyback that, because, running the mobile app Owl, what we're seeing a lot of is it's really difficult to educate the consumer, right? There is so much literature online when you're looking at TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and then emails, newsletters, text message automation, AI. It's becoming unreasonable. So what most people do is, if it's not a sentence or two, they just skip it. And they try to figure it out on their own. They skip the manuals, they skip the tutorial videos. And what's happening is, people get going and then they're confused. And it's really hard to educate the consumer today. Well, so you could have a product that solves something, a major issue, but it's like, people are like, just like they skip over everything.
Yeah, well, and not only that, it's one of those very traditional synonyms for expenses, right? Whenever any founder tells me, well, I just need to educate my customers, there's a lot of these synonyms where it's like, okay, well, that translates to a marketing expense.
Yeah.
You're going to have to spend money because at the end of the day, you have to buy your customers, whether it's paying to send somebody out for a consultation and a sales call, or online marketing, or SEO, or creating content like you're creating right now. Time, energy, effort, all equates to money. So that education, I can see as a valuable component. I want to get to some student questions, but I got one last one. So what's the long-term vision for IggyTraps, right? Is this going to be a big, massive pest control multi-million-dollar enterprise like Hewlett, who we have down here and throughout the state? Or is there another more creative model as you look worldwide that might be something like IggyTrap franchise that enables you to move even faster, but you'd lose some of that control? What are you thinking?
This will be the one of, if not one of the largest pest control sectors in this state moving forward. That's been identified. It's happening. You're dealing with a pest that's reproduction numbers are greater than rats, and they live 15 times as long, and their damages are exponentially more than rodents. I mean, there's not a ton of data on this because it's happening right now. We're in the thick of it. I mean, it is happening. It's a fluid issue that's only going to get worse. And as that happens, like when you talked about educating consumers, even from 2 years ago when we started, our customers are calling us now, and they know what the problems are. They know what's happening. So like that problem is solving itself as the problem just gets worse. Also, they're large animals. I mean, the problem's in front of your eyes. You can see it. It's not like,
I was going to say, I mean, rats are nocturnal, so sure, you don't see as many, but who's seen, 6 or a dozen rats in the last week?
Or termites,
who's seen that many iguanas? Everybody.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, that piece is big, but we're rapidly expanding beyond just our traps got us kind of the initial fame of being able to deal with this particular issue. We've expanded out into, again, like our preventative products. We're about to launch a whole line of new stuff. I mean, I got more stuff in the queue here on what we're trying to bring out. I mean, I'm just trying to bring it all to market as fast as I can. Even other species. I mean, we have a python trap, which is patent pending, that UF picked up. They're invasive species in agricultural. They picked up that for testing. It's being tested as we speak. I mean, that's an ecological issue that's been.
And I understand
Kevin
those
wants
are
to
quite
get out,
hard to catch.
And Kevin, look at his hat. He's a Crocodile Dundee over here. He likes to get out of the office once a week. I think he's your Python guy, right? He likes that type of stuff.
I'm that guy.
He's
Let's
the
take
trapper.
some questions.
Let's get some students up here, ask some questions. This segment is sponsored by Owl, where you get to ask an entrepreneur question. Go for it.
Hi, my name's Sebastian Marcus. I was just wondering and curious, what is your opinion on people who bring out rifles to kill the iguanas using 22 long rifle? I sell guns myself at a firearms store, and I was just wondering because I get a lot of questions, a lot of people coming up to me and they're like, do you think 223 is good enough? And I'm like, that's an AR round, shouldn't work, but I recommend 22 long rifle. What do you say about people who go out and hunt these guys?
Couple big things. That's been the model when we talk about what was being done before we took this methodology, and one of them is going out with the air guns and shooting them all. Not scale. If you went out there on FAU's campus and you're out there or not bad example, but you're going to a resort or something. You got
good pause.
Yeah,
good pause.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I'm just trying to think of where you could visualize
Your
this,
house.
right?
Your house.
Yeah, you're going to your house or something. You don't have 24 hours a day to sit around and wait for that iguana to come down from the tree or show up or wherever it's going. You have to have something that's going to be 24/7 remediation. That's what our traps do. They're multi-capture, so as many as can go in will keep following each other in. It's based on the ecology of the animal and their social nature that they're all going to congregate together. So we use that to our advantage. To get to your question, I don't believe that's a scalable problem. I think it's something that's being done today in terms of how they do control of it. I can tell you one thing as a business owner, it's a massive, massive fear of mine that you send somebody out to manage an HOA complex using that methodology. And I mean, for all intents and purposes, the air guns that are on the market these days, I mean, they look like, an AR style rifle. And, you have somebody who might be walking down the lake and you have something serious, or somebody tries to, claim a stand your ground law. I mean, it's something that I think that the days on it and are numbered on that methodology of being able to be done in such sort of a unregulated sort of sense. I mean, a lot of people can get into it with a pickup truck, some small general liability insurance, and buy an air gun and develop an LLC, and off they go. That's not really our competitor. That's not who we want to deal with. And a lot of our customers are places where that is not ever acceptable. So, I mean, we manage a lot of K through 12 schools. We manage a lot of city parks. We manage a lot of resorts.
Even the resorts you reference.
Resorts,
you don't want people walking around.
They don't want the
optics.
optics.
Makes people nervous. That makes people call the cops.
Is FAU a client, by the way?
Funny enough, I'll say this, and I've said it to somebody this weekend. We have contracts and we're approved vendors for almost every single college or university, and have done work across all of them across South Florida, on exception of FAU.
Oh, Kevin, look at this.
We gotta
See,
work
this
on
is
that,
this is
man.
where sometimes the disconnect happens with so many sectors of universities and the
And
red
I
tape,
love-
of course.
I
We're gonna
love
make that
my-
happen after the shrimp tank.
I loved my alma mater, and it's not a hit against them or anything else. I don't want it to be taken that way. I definitely don't want it to be, done that way. But again, yeah, I mean, this would be my customer, because that's something that you can't have those other competitors in. You need somebody who's professional. You need a company that's reliable and can take care of this in a discreet, professional, and humane manner. And that's what we focus on.
Hi, so I'm Ryan, and my question is kind of relating to the larger scale. So when you really zoom out, like invasive species as a whole are kind of like a government issue, right? Like citizens would probably say that this is like a government problem, right? And they personally wouldn't like feel a need to like do something about it. But my question for you was, are you involving yourself with the government right now, or do you have like plans to in the future?
It's a good question given the scale of the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great question. And the answer is we hear from customers that say that exact line verbatim of saying, oh, well, why is this my problem to deal with? Why isn't so-and-so paying, whether it's the state of Florida, why isn't my city, why isn't my county
taxes? And you're like, well, figure this out.
Well, yeah, that's what a lot of people say, that they should be paying for it. But the problem is that this genie is so far out of the bottle. Is the state of Florida, the Florida Wildlife Commission, even the local cities, they know what it will cost to get it back. And that number is so astronomical that they don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. And what happens when you have that issue is they're going to keep kicking that can as far down. They're going to say, well, the state, it's only in the bottom half of the state. So that's their problem. And then they push it to the municipalities. The municipalities say, well, it's not our job to manage what happens at your house. So we're going to make that your problem. And so as you follow that train down the line, especially for iguanas, where it's such an urban issue. I mean, they're in the most urban areas. I mean, we had one in a 5-story building in downtown Miami that had scaled up and got caught between a glass panel. I mean, they're absolutely everywhere. And you talk about things like the pythons, to where I think that might be a little bit more applicable when you're saying government. The USGA has done work with this, the U.S. Geological Survey, USGS, FWC. I mean, when we thought about it and said, okay, all these places that have been trying to do things have been fighting a losing battle for 30 years.
Yeah.
Because the only way you go out there is you hunt them with flashlights in a swamp. How effective can you ever be? So we thought, okay, let's take our same idea of using for the iguanas, and we'll just transfer that to the pythons. Instead of having us go to the snakes, let's have the snakes come to us. So we've developed a whole program for that. We took it down to a group of researchers that had the clearances and everything for the government to go out there and do the proper testing and pipelines that you need to do. And their ears perked up. I mean, they looked at it and were like, huh, like, we'll give it a shot. I didn't get the old, what I did get early on when I first got this going is you get the, attaboy, you keep going. congratulations on your great technology. Looks awesome, and can't wait to see where you go.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the answer I got when I initially approached a lot of these big government agencies, is they didn't care to engage. We're always knocking on the door of those agencies. I mean, we have, Miami-Dade County does a lot of work with us. We just started a mass removal program, just started commencing this week for the island of Key Biscayne down in Miami. So we're doing a mass eradication on that whole island, which is kind of a fun one considering it's an island. So it's a little bit more, we'll be able to see those effects faster than maybe in a land area. So, I mean, there are local governments, there are some that are taking steps to protect their city properties, and even some extending to their private citizens when they can. But yeah, I think it's a big challenge is trying to get those people to engage and, try to put that responsibility on them. It's tough.
Great answer. Thank you.
Okay, our final question of the show.
All right. From the sounds of it, it sounds like your networking is through the roof. So, I mean, a thing I hear a lot is improve your networking, get to know as many people, get connections. So, it's a relatively new business and it seems like it's going amazing. So how did you really network and connect the most, and what was the most, primary focus for you in that kind of area?
Well, it may have been your role here while you were at FAU. That probably helped a fair amount. Yeah.
Well, I'd say networking from a peer-to-peer basis was great, because that networking with my peers is what gave me my workforce. So that, my director of ops was somebody who, great guy that I was in my fraternity. So when he was coming out of school, he's a year younger than me, behind me in school, he took an early role in the company. A couple other guys did as well. And then they've stuck with me and grinded through the great days and the absolutely horrific days. And finding that network among peers, I would say, was huge, because if I was to try to go and hire off, one of the conventional outlets of saying, okay, we're going to go post on Indeed, we're going to go and try to find some of these people, it would have been much, much harder in those times to get that going. And while people think in a startup, I mean, you're saying, I'm not going to be able to give you a benefits package. I'm not going to be able to give you, when we first getting started, saying I can't put you on a salary. I can't do those things. I can't give you the raise of, what you're worth. But if you stick with me, we'll power through these tough times and we'll come out the other side of it. And we'll have a blast. I mean, a lot of people think of when you run your own business and the flexibility you get of saying, you guys are with me and we get to design our workplace. We get to design how we work. You don't have somebody coming and telling you, everything of what you got to do. I mean, you're the boots on the ground. You're out there seeing it. My guys are, they're seeing way more. They're out there right now. They're seeing stuff that I'm not seeing, and giving them that freedom and that voice, I think, is huge. I'd say for networking on a professional level and in my trying to find customers and trying to connect with some of those agencies and stuff, I'll be completely honest, a lot of it was sending emails, making calls. I mean, my first customer and one of my biggest customers was a cold call. It was one of my first, somebody I had called, and I got lucky. He said, sure, I'll give you a shot. Come in. Trying to engage with some of those agencies and things, it was having the confidence to say, I got something awesome, and to be a little, it's okay to be a little forward and be confident. And, it might, and I've dealt with this before, as I'm looking at it, I'm like, this looks really boastful. This looks braggadocious. This email does. And I'm like, screw it. It's going to get somebody's attention. I mean, somebody's going to be like, okay, let's see what it's about. I mean, that's how I got up to Tallahassee and was able to actually present the trap to the senior staff of FWC, was to get them all in a room.
I think we're just hearing that he goes on offense quite frequently, right? And so often I hear people, when it comes to networking, thinking it means going into a room and just chatting with people, but it's an art. It's going on offense to walk over to people, handshake people, do business with people they like, know, and trust, and then the follow through. right? What I'm hearing, coming out of his mouth is it's not just this one meeting. It's like, no, he keeps putting pressure on people via email, via text, via phone calls until they say yes, right? Or they stop answering, his emails probably, but he'll probably go back his third or fourth time because he's getting larger and larger, but he believes in the mission that much. And when you believe in something, you have that much passion for it, it doesn't come across as this like sales breath, right? Sales breath is, of course, the real estate agent that is not listening. And you're like, I'm not in the market. Like, I'm hanging up this phone call. Like, I'm not selling my home, right? And they keep going on why it would be a good opportunity to sell your home. And you're like, no, like, I'm not leaving. My kids are young. Like, what are you doing right now? Like, you're just going after the wrong individual. And real estate agents are known for that, or insurance agents, right? Same thing. They don't stop. And I run a networking platform called Owl, right? Which the successful people go on offense. They don't wait around for people to call them. They call others for a price, because you only have a limited amount of time in a day, right? So they're going to wait around for people to come to you and post things on social media, LinkedIn, Instagram. It's a very saturated market. But he mentioned cold calling, right? Just pick up the phone and call a business. All their phone numbers are listed online. If you ChatGPT, get people's cell phone numbers even, right? And just call people up, because people are not doing that anymore, especially young entrepreneurs in your 20s. Nobody just goes and calls people. And ready for this? Like, Kevin's phone number is listed. Like, how many people call you, Kevin? Seriously, out of the blue.
Well, this one called me all the time. It's like my best friend. It's scam likely.
Scam likely.
But like real people?
Yeah,
no,
real
I don't
people
get
that just ask for help.
No,
right?
I
get no calls.
calls.
I get no calls. I run a mobile app. I run the Shrimp Tank. Nobody just calls my publicly listed number and just says, "Hey, Jason, I'd like to do." The only calls I get is myself from people who don't really know me, and it's a third party calling on behalf. But nobody ever calls.
Yeah,
and if you just call and be like, "Hey, I saw your Shrimp Tank podcast. Would love to come on your show." Like, no one does that. They all just reach out to the DM cold turkey and pitch them. They don't even listen to an episode.
Yeah, I have a bunch of founders and students in my classes that we're working through just calling customers and having real conversations, and it's been highly effective. Well, let's wrap up this show, man. The class is over.
Okay.
One more thing, if I can add it, for networking, is you think about networking and in terms of an offensive thing, right?
Yes.
And I think one piece that is missed is, especially when you're dealing in a startup and you're dealing with the ebbs and flows, and you're going to have those peaks and valleys, is the network you surround yourself with for personal support. So like my fiance, she's a 2-time alum. She will tell me if she thinks something's going good. She thinks, if something we could fix, she's like, "Hey, let me help you with this. Hey, you're up all night working, let me take this and let me see if I can do it. Let me contact these people." Having that support, having family support, having your friends involved and keeping them, in the loop. I mean, it's hard having, relationships when you're working, 100-hour weeks, but having that personal network around you is huge, because those are going to be what's going to get you through those valleys and push you back up to those peaks, and they'll keep it real with you.
And real relationships, not the phony crap that you see on social media. I can't tell you how many people I partnered with on Instagram that have 1 million followers that go to an event and nobody shows up for them. This person to my right, I have no idea your social media following, but I bump into people that have 500 followers on social media, but could get 100, 200 people in a room if they asked. And that's a real following and real friends and real relationships. So let's end on that note. If people want to reach out to you, Pierce, what are the best routes? Is it social media? Is it the Owl app? Right. I know you just signed up today. People call you one-on-one in the future, but what are good routes when people call you or touch base?
Call me, email me, reach out to me on Instagram, DM the IggyTrap Instagram, or meet us on Facebook. And I mean, you're going to get a live person every single time. You're not getting an AI. At least, we're responding, and our customers appreciate that. And if you want to reach me directly, just say, "Hey, I want to reach Pierce on this," and I'll take time out of anybody from my alma mater that wants to learn or wants support or wants to just ask a question. Or if you're looking for a job, if you're looking for career opportunities, we're hiring sales roles right now. So if you don't want to go out and try to be stumping for solar or stumping for selling insurance or whatever else, those entry-level sales positions you might have at your disposal now, if you're looking for something unique, you're looking for some high commission sales here, reach out to me.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Thanks for joining the show. We'll be back next Wednesday right at 1:00. Take care, everybody.